Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new series on Greenhills Estate. This map came out for PC about a year ago. I played it a little bit then and I really enjoyed it, but other new maps came out and I kind of moved on to other maps. But then recently, just within the last couple of days, it's come out for console. So I thought that might generate some more interest in this map since a whole new group of people have been exposed to it, for lack of a better term. So I decided to do a little survival challenge on Greenhills Estate. I started on New Farmer, and I kept the original tractor and the original trailer that comes with New Farmer, got rid of all the rest. I sold the property that comes with New Farmer, and I bought what is the second smallest plot on the map, which is 75 right here. And it's covered with a bunch of hardwood trees. But it is large enough to do something with once the trees are cleared off. And I think that's going to be useful to us. The smallest field on the map is this one. And it encompasses this little grassy area right here and this area over here with, I believe, 6 trees on it. 6 very small trees on it. So I decided that that was not quite enough to sustain us. So we're going with the second smallest field on the map. And since we have absolutely nothing, we're going to start by looking at some contracts. So we have 2 contracts here. They're both harvesting contracts. And it looks like we can make about 12 grand out of it, which will be good for us because we'll need to use that 12 grand for sure. And we'll probably make a little more than that just from the extra on the harvest. So we can take both of these contracts. Now they both come with leased equipment, but this one is much cheaper than this one. And I'm sure the equipment is smaller, but I think we're going to go with the cheaper equipment because we've got time. We always have time. So I'm going to borrow the items for this contract, and then I'm just going to accept this contract. And we'll be able to use the same equipment on both. When we get our own farm, I don't think we'll need to use a header trailer. I can't emphasize enough how much I hate header trailers. But I think for this particular job, we're going to need just to get it to the field. On our own farm, we're gonna take down some hedges and we're gonna clear the way so that we don't have to use a header trailer. Oh, look, I put it on exactly opposite. Thank goodness it turned itself around because that's what it's all about. I'm sorry. So I feel like I should emphasize here in the very first episode of this series for any new viewers, if you are looking for realistic simulation of farming, I suggest that you look at some other channels because I have very little patience and I like for things to happen kind of quickly. So I'm always looking for ways to do things faster. I do draw the line at giving myself money. I will take advantage of any money that the map would like to give me, but I'm not going to add money. I have easy development mod. I could give myself $1 billion, but then there's actually no game to that. So I am actually going to play a game. It's not necessarily the game that everybody likes to play, but it's the game that I like. And we'll be using some mods that have mostly unrealistic capacities and unrealistic speeds because I just like to get things done. So I'm still doing the work. I'm just doing it a little faster than normal. Did I just pull this header trailer in here? Okay. I was going to be very angry at myself. But I don't have to be, so that's good. All right. Probably should have gone with the bigger header for the extra $600. But when you got nothing, you got to be cheap. You got to be cheap, but you don't have to be slow. So we're going to go ahead and speed up the working speed. And we're going to get this done a little faster. All right, that's the last of the oats. We're going to get these unloaded. We're going to hook both trailers up to our tractor, and we're going to take it to market. Before we head off into the sunset, let's go ahead and check where these are supposed to go. This is supposed to go to the warehouse, which I think is right next to the dealership. Well, I thought I tagged the place. Is this it? No, that's the farmer's market. There's the warehouse right there. Okay, so we've got to go. We've got a long trip. I'll see you when we get there. All right, we have finished the contract on field 4, and we made $5,659 in extra oats. That's very good. That's more than I expected. So we're going to head back and harvest the soybeans in, I don't know what field it is. I think it's field 7, maybe. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take them to the sell point. Hopefully we'll collect a little extra from the soybeans, and we'll see how much money we have. We have completed the contract, but we're not going to collect on the contract, because if we did that, our equipment would go away. So we are going to use the same equipment to harvest the next field and save ourselves some rental fees. We're going to take what the map gives us. We're not going to give ourselves anything, but we're definitely going to take everything that the map will give us. All right, I'm going to get this field harvested. Probably not going to show it, because you just watched me harvest a big oat field. And how many times do you want to watch somebody harvest something in the same episode? So just think in your mind, this is exactly the same as the oat field, except it's soybeans. All right, let's see where this needs to go. I think it needs to go over here because we have this exclamation point, but let's go down and check the contract. Oops, went past it. Yes, the farmer's market. That is much closer. So we're going to go ahead and tag the farmer's market just so I know exactly what bin to drop it in. All right, we're going to tag that. All right, let's see what we can make here. It went away. Good. What do we got here? we made $3,200 on the soybeans. That could have been worse. So let's go ahead and collect on our contracts. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so we're going to collect. And now we have $20,159 to start our own farm. That equipment has been returned when we collected on the contract. So we're going to head out to our farm. I say farm, it's really just a lot with some trees on it. But when we get there, we're going to have a nice little talk about trees. I can't wait. So this is our land. It's a pretty small lot, but it has some fairly large trees on it. So in a survival challenge, you're going to do one or all of three things. You're going to do contracts if you can, if there are contracts on the map, and we just did a couple and we made some money. You're also going to either cut trees or cut grass. Those are pretty much your options in a survival challenge. So when you're looking at a map and you want to do a survival challenge, or even when you're just looking at a map to see how can I make a lot of money very quickly, trees are always, well, they're not always a good way, but very often they're a good way to make a lot of money very quickly. And let me show you why. If you look over here, there's not going to be a price here for wood, but there is going to be a price here for wood chips. So if you look at the historic price for wood chips, you see that the high price there in January is $1,620 per 1,000 liters of wood chips. You can make a lot of wood chips. And at $1,600 per 1,000 liters, you're going to make a lot of money very, very quickly. So even with this small amount of trees, you're going to make a lot of money. Now, I could have given myself a much larger area like that one over there, but don't worry, we're going to buy that soon enough. So, but we're going to start right here with these trees. Now, I did some research and I've played a lot of Farming Simulator. So I know that different trees will give you different yields. You're going to get a different amount of wood from different kinds of trees. If you're going to sell the logs to be used to make, furniture or lumber, then it's best to cut them at a fairly long length. Farm Sim Snowy, one of my favorites here on YouTube, did a really good experiment, and he came up with 9 meters being the ideal length to make the most money out of logs. So if you're going to sell logs, then you want a pine or a spruce or something that's easy to get the branches off of. These trees are hardwood trees. They are not designed to make lumber out of. These are very deceptive. You see that nice, big, long, straight trunk and you go, oh, I can make lumber out of that. And then you cut it down and you are in the middle of a nightmare trying to get rid of all of these branches. These branches don't just disappear like the fronds on a spruce tree do. These things are literally a nightmare. And as are these. These are also very difficult. I'm not exactly sure of the species of tree that we have right here. Maybe a birch. I don't want to commit myself there. Or a maple. That could be a maple tree. No, it's got the wrong kind of leaves for maple tree. But I do know that this fine specimen is an American elm. And when you're talking wood chips, and even by volume of just sheer lumber, the American elm yields more than any other tree in the game. So we will get a ton of wood chips out of these I think we have 3 or 4 big American elms here. And then these guys back here, I think these are the oaks. These will also yield a great deal of wood chips. And we're going to find out exactly how many wood chips we get off of this lot right now. So we're gonna lease one of my new favorite mods. It is the Brooks All-in-One, or Brooks, I'm not sure. Brooks or Brooks, All-in-One. It has a stump cutter underneath so you can get rid of the stumps, and it turns trees into wood chips pretty much instantly. It also has an option for capacity, and we can set that to 500,000 liters. So I'm guessing we can get that whole lot without emptying our wood chipper. Now, about leasing. On most survival challenges, including this one, I am not going to allow myself to lease equipment that I use on a regular basis. So like tractors and harvesters and, planters and fertilizer, all of that we're going to have to buy. We're not going to lease things that we use long-term repeatedly. We are going to be able to lease forestry equipment and plows. I have periodic plowing turned off, as I usually do. So the only time we're really going to need a plow is when we make a new field. So I'm going to allow myself to lease a plow and to lease this mod, because I'm only going to use it every 3-4 years. So for now, we're going to use it to clear our lot, and we're going to use that money. Thank you, autosave. We're going to use that money to buy the other lot that's also filled with big American elms. So let me lease this real quick. So let's go to this first big American elm right here. That gave us 31,483 liters of wood chips. So this is, in essence, a survival challenge. But I think the survival part of it is probably going to be over with fairly quickly. And then we're going to move on to the how are we going to make money long term. Because we're going to make a significant sum of money here pretty quickly. I do believe. Wow, we're more than halfway done. And I think this is another one of those stumps that we're not going to be able to get. Those are big trees. And here's the last tree. Yeah, so that gave us over 20,000 liters right there, just that one tree. Well, I might as well put the wood chips from this stump in the grinder. All right, we are at 231,029 liters. And we are also at the end of this episode. If you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. If you did not like this video, please post a comment and tell me why. Either way, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.